BT Sport loading bay where all the fighters and their entourages will arrive. They'll get tested, the temperature's taken before they can actually enter into the building ready to prepare for the fights. They'll all go into the dressing rooms. They'll arrive, not all at the same time, but effectively they'll go into the dressing rooms, ready to sort of get ready and strip down, ready for the fights. Before the fights, they come out into these areas. So you've effectively got the red and the blue for the fighters to get ready to walk, and then ultimately they'll go through here once we're ready to for the fights to start. Each fighter will be asked to hold here in the normal sort of way you would if you were at an event with a big crowd. So ultimately they'll wait, they'll take their cue, we'll play their music, and then they come out. The second fighter will get ready while the first fighter comes in. But the idea is it's very much a one-way system. So the fighters come in, they'll go up this set of steps here into the ring. Second fighter comes, does the same. The fight will take place, but ultimately then the fighters will leave the ring by a different route, so they don't come back over the same sort of area they've been onto. Effectively where people will be. So obviously our main gantry camera platform is up there. We'll have our two commentators, John Rawling and Richie Woodall will be up in the commentary box over there. And again, around the ring is 2 metre distancing. So everyone who comes through here has been tested. Everybody sort of, is medically ready to sort of be able to do all the things you would expect for a fight camp to be able to do. Our guys, or the production team, will be further back. They won't be in this sort of red zone. So everybody's got to be spaced around the edges of the arena. So at the end of the fight, the fighters will leave through this route. They will come round, again outside of this zone, and effectively follow the markers to go out of the building. Up the top there will be where Paul Dempsey will present the show from with David Haye. That's in our sort of glass box studio up in the corner. But again, with social distancing, there's only 2 people who can really be in that place. And ultimately, the fighters will probably get the winning fighter to stop up here. He will again be a safe distance away, so he gets his own microphone. The reporter will be there. We'll have a screen. If there's the end of the fight, you might want to show him the end of the fight and how well he's done. But the idea is you do your post-fight bit here, thank the fighter, thanks very much. He will then go out the building. The judges and the board will sit at the back, where the timing bell is at the back. That is where the board of control and the judges will be, in terms of making sure that everything is running according to the British boxing standard. And the idea is that he leaves the building via a different route that they came in, so that the fighter who's fought never comes into contact with anybody who's about to go into the ring. So they will come out here. They will effectively leave the building through another door, and once they've been tested and the board have done whatever they need to do to check the fight is okay, they will effectively leave the building and be on a taxi back to the hotel. It'd be good to get boxing back on the television. We've had a few weeks, I would say, to sort of really think this through and work out exactly how we're going to do it. I think the biggest challenge is simply with all the sort of rules and regulations around social distancing and the ability to bring people into the building and making sure that everybody's safe. The key to, obviously, a boxing event, normally you're filming it around 5, 10, 15,000 people and you're trying to incorporate the whole event. With this, I think it will be much more intimate. I think you're going to get a lot more of the boxing, you're going to get a lot more of the footwork, you're going to get a lot more of the actual hand speed, the noise of the punches, that sort of thing that isn't sometimes sort of diluted by the crowd. So I think that will be a big difference when people see and hear it. Frank and his team at Queensberry obviously have to deal direct with the British Boxing Board of Control to comply with all of the things required to host an event. The fact the event is in this building just makes it slightly different with no crowd, etc. But they will be, or have been, involved with the board all the way from start to finish in terms of having all the COVID protocols that are needed to keep the boxers safe and everybody in the room safe. We've got a couple of options that we're looking at and thinking about whether to use a little bit of atmos that we've had from previous events, or whether the actual intimacy of the fighting and the actual noise of the boxing we want to go with. There may be a bit of a mix between the two, but we want to just make sure we get it right. Yeah, the bottom line is it's a BT Sport programme. We want to try and work out what's best for the show. So if we think that the crowd noise helps, then we may use it, but we've still got a couple of decisions to make about that as to whether we want to go with it or not. After the fights, effectively what's going to happen is the whole ring is going to get cleaned down so that the next fight coming in isn't going to sort of have anything from the previous fire. It will be cleaned down completely and chemically washed.